Hello again. I'm sure the viewers will recognise the quotation which forms part of the title of this video. It is, of course, from Alice in Wonderland, and it's taken from the so-called Caucasus race, which occurs in that book. It'll be remembered that Alice starts crying so much that her tears create something of a flood, and a lot of animals are caught up in it. Afterward, to dry off, they all race and race around the lake that's been formed by her tears. The dodo is asked who has won the race. He thinks about this for a while and then announces that everybody has won and all must have prizes. This attitude, of course, typifies this modern world of ours in which nobody must be allowed to fail and all must feel that they are winners. Anybody who has a child at primary school will know about non-competitive games where all get a turn and nobody is left out and all must have prizes. It may, or perhaps will not, surprise viewers to know that exactly the same frame of mind now grips the army and police force in Britain. The first time that I saw a photograph of Cressida Dick, the first, and it is to be hoped last, Commissioner of the Police for the metropolis who was a woman, I could not help but notice that she had somehow acquired 5 medals. Some of these may be seen in the thumbnail to this video. I was intrigued. There was a time in the 1950s and 1960s when it was not uncommon to see police officers with medal ribbons on their tunics. These were men who had served in the armed forces and won their medals in the usual way, by fighting for their country during the Second World War or Korean War. Many of the British politicians at that time had also been awarded medals for the same reason. Former Chancellor of the Exchequer Denis Healey, for instance, was a major in the Royal Engineers during the war and served as Beachmaster at Anzio into the bargain. Of course, none of these people who actually earned medals would have been so vulgar as to wear the gongs themselves, as Cressida Dick used to do. They limited themselves to discreet little ribbons. While looking at James Cleverly's Wikipedia the other day, he's our new Home Secretary, as I'm sure most viewers will be aware, I was astonished to find that he too has been awarded no fewer than 6 medals. I'm sure that viewers are dying to know what he did to deserve such honours. Well, in 1991 he joined the Territorial Army and then, well actually, that's all. He has been given no fewer than 6 medals, not for doing anything, but rather for having done one thing once, which was joining the Terriers. Well, I mean, that's quite a praiseworthy thing, of course, to join the Territorial Army and remain in it long enough. He has the Volunteer Reserve Service Medal for being in the Territorial Army for 10 years, and also the Efficiency Decoration for being in the Territorial Army for 12 years. Then there is the Queen Elizabeth II Golden Jubilee Medal for being in the Territorial Army in 2002, the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal for being in the Territorial Army in 2012, and of course the Queen Elizabeth II Platinum Jubilee Medal for being in the Territorial Army in 2022. Then too, he has recently been awarded the King Charles III Coronation Medal for being in the Territorial Army in 2023. And that's it, 6 medals for just being in the Territorial Army. Cressida Dick's medals were the same, just for serving in the police and being in the police in 2002, 2012 and 2022. This is what we have been reduced to with our politicians and senior police officers. When once we saw men who had risked their lives in the service of their country and earned medals, we now have men and women who have been given a bunch of medals just for being in a certain role when a particular year comes round.